All right, good morning. My name is Blessing Jafari Mbalaka. I'm part of Group 3, year 2026, and my lecturer is Mr. Humulemu Bukaba, and my student number is ST104-66840. So now, when we go to events within this application, this is where essentially the administrator is able to filter by they can filter by ID, they can filter by name, um, as well as So so those are the only two conditions that are within the current business rules. But the main aspect was in the bookings. So they wanted us to be able to filter by booking ID. So here we can see that the booking IDs are 2, 3, and 4. So let's say we want to filter by booking 4. We can filter by booking ID 4. We can also filter by the event name. Uh, let's clear the search, and then we're also able to filter by the event name. So let's say fresh. Then we're able to see the two freshers events that are happening at WITS and one at UJ, so, at the same time, concurrently, which is very nice. So we have two events that are happening concurrently, which are both called freshers at different venues at the same time. But what happens if you want to create another venue, another event at the same time? Let's see if that error handling is implemented. So now let's say this is the event that we've created, and then we want to put it at WITS. It can't happen because the venue WITS is already booked for the specific date and time, and you have to select another date, and that's basically how it goes. So we can go back to list, and then that's how essentially some of our error handling. So how do we then uh, what do you showcase that the application has been solidified to prevent errors from the user? So every button works. They can click every button. Um, they can click every single button on the application, right? But let's say they want to create a venue and they edit the details. Let's say VIT's price is 23,000, but they want to edit that 23,000 and they want to make that a letter. Let's say they want it to be 23,000. So when they do that, it doesn't work because it has to be a number. The field expects a number, so that's how we basically implemented the validation. So maybe they can increase the price to 45K for the venue, and then you can say save. So now the VITS venues B is now raised to 45,000. So our numerical inputs are validated. String inputs validated. IDs are auto increments. They're auto increments, so they're just based on the positions in the database. So which is fine. So now what we then can do is we can delete venues, but there mustn't be an active booking. So there are bookings, right, within our system, and we can delete the booking. Say this booking here, but once we've deleted the booking, then we are able to delete their venue and the event, because the booking is basically the point of truth. So we're not able to that's basically what we're supposed to do. And so we have to make sure that when we are and also when we go to venues and let's say there's an active booking. Right now we have an active booking at Varsity College. So if we go to Varsity College and we want to delete Vas no, no, it said Wits University. So if you want to go to Wits University, you want to delete Wits University, it will refuse because it will say that there's an active booking. We can go and view that booking, and then maybe we can edit it and then change the venue at UJ and then save it. And then now we go back to to those active bookings. We can see that the venue Wits doesn't have any doesn't have anything. So we can now delete the Wits venue from the database, and then now it's gone. So only if it does not have an active booking, that's when we can delete it. So we are just basically cross-checking whether or not these events exist or not. If there's an active booking and if that active booking needs specific data, either from venue or events. So if there's a so if the, so you if you go and delete an event, but there's an active booking with freshers, It won't work. Let's try delete that. So we say delete, and then we see there's an active booking called Freshers. But now if you obviously change the the event to Varsity College, and maybe change to Engine Club and save the changes. Um, Now when we say delete, we're able to delete because there wasn't a booking that corresponded with those details. So that's how we basically ensure that all of the bookings are safe from accidental deletions, and there's proper validations so that people's active bookings are not deleted from the database. So now on the theme of blob storage, I think that is the last aspect. So here we can see that the venues, there's an image here. So let's say I wanted to edit the image. So I would just simply go and select an event venue. So let's say this is an image of an event. Uh, this is an event, and then we say save. So this is the image we just have uploaded. So this image, let's see, is it really using blob storage? Let's right click and let's check. So there are two ways to check. So we can check by opening the image in a new tab, and then we are able to see the port that it's running on. Right now it's running on localhost port 10,000. We can change this, and then the dev store account one venue images is the folder, and then we have it, and there's the image that we have here. So this is essentially where the image resides. So now when we go to the blob storage, this is essentially the emulator, which is synced to this port. You can see the URL here, venue images, and in this specific blob container, venue images, which corresponds to the top here, and the port 10,000. So that is where the images are essentially being stored, and we can see all of the images that have been there. But the only downside is that during this demo I've been deleting a lot of images. So what you have to do is you have to open a new window, and then the new window will then correspond to the actual images that are within your database. So let's just do that so that I can showcase that. So what you do is you go to storage accounts, and then they give us a free account. You don't need internet or anything, you can just use it. And then you just go to blob container, and then you say view all, and then venue images. And then after you've gone there, you see we only have two images, which corresponds to our system. So our system only has two images of venues. So now when we're in blob storage, we should be able to see these two. So let me just showcase that evidence by highlighting it. So if I go here and and uh, and double click, it's queuing it, and it's going to load that image for us right now. I think this should be the latest one. I'm just looking at the time, or is it the older one? Yeah, it's the older one. So this is the older image, and then this image is the one we just uploaded now. You can see that the transfer at the bottom here is a success. Uh, so it's then there's the image right here. So this is just a GUI, right? But the actual um, logic is running. Where's the port? Yes, it's running here. This is essentially the blob storage. I just wanted to show you the port number and everything. No, this is not this is the wrong terminal. Where is it? There it is. So it's currently happening here. This is essentially the Azure write command that we use to start the port. So everything is happening on this port, and then for us to see, you can of course obviously click on it, and then it will open to an XML page. Uh, but then we're using Azure Write, the local emulator, so that makes it very easy for us to see in a neat way. And then of course, just to verify, it's this who you are. This is the URL that all of the images are being displayed at, and these are basically all of our blobs and our images in our blob storage. Um, and yes, um, all right. I would like to say thank you for your time.